All right, welcome back to another episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk Edition. This is episode number 51. I'm back at Red Morton Park. Another busy day at the park here. Lots of people coming from everywhere. That's good. People are getting out. It is a work day, but I guess a lot of people are self-employed or they're taking some time off. And that's not a bad thing. Time off is good. You get to, catch up on some rest, especially if you're a guy like myself that busts ass and, enjoys, taking some time off as well. And when you're an entrepreneur and you grow a business to a certain level, you have a little more flexibility. I take care of my clients in the morning, and then I come out and do these videos, and then if I have any other clients in the other businesses that I run, I take care of them later on in the afternoon as they come. Or I'll even take some phone calls from the park while I'm getting some exercise. So anyway, welcome back. It's an overcast day. It's supposed to rain today, so I hope to get my entire walk in before it rains and get this video in before it rains as well. But anyway, before I get even started here, I want to mention I'm trying something different today. I'm recording this video in higher quality than usual. Let me explain. I still have an iPhone 6 Plus, which is a 3-year-old phone. You may be asking why I haven't upgraded to the iPhone 10. It's not that I can't afford the iPhone 10. It's because of the fact that I'm waiting for the next iPhone to come out, because I'm hearing that they're going to start deploying 5G everywhere, and I want to make sure that I have the latest technology, the latest cellular technology within the newest iPhone, and the latest Wi-Fi technology, because Wi-Fi is changing as well. And if I were to purchase the iPhone 10X or the 10XR, I believe, which is the latest one, the iPhone 11 or whatever it's going to be called is going to have the latest technology. So I just want to make sure I have that. So for now, I'm using the iPhone 6 Plus, which is not a bad phone. It's a decent phone. It's still supported by Apple and still gets all the regular updates. But the front-facing camera on the iPhone can only record at 720p HD. The rear camera can record at 1080p. But I can't use the rear camera while I'm recording because I can't see myself or see what I'm showing you folks. The front-facing camera can only record at 720p HD because it only has a 1.2 megapixel still camera, and the rear camera has an 8 megapixel camera. So I've been recording all of my videos that I do on my walks in 720p HD. But I've been recording them at what's known as 30 frames per second, where here in the US, the standard recording frame rate is 30 frames per second. It's actually 29.97, which is rounded up to 30. What that means is what the frame rate is. It's basically, how do I explain this the right way? Video is basically a bunch of still pictures that run per second in order to make the image move. So when you record at 30 frames per second, every 30 seconds, you're viewing 30 pictures very fast. And to the eye, you just see motion. Remember those old flip books back in our younger days where you'd have a 100-page book, and if you flipped through it, you'd see an image move? It's the same concept. So I've been recording these videos at 720p, 30 frames per second. Today, I'm trying 720p 60 frames per second, which is what a lot of people started recording at over the last several years. It's supposed to give you more fluid video. It's supposed to be a lot clearer, and it's supposed to not have as many motion artifacts. I'm doing that because I cannot record in 1080p on my front camera here, and what I've been known for in the past is to record videos in 1080p. So I'm going to do 720p 60 frames per second in this video, and I want to get your feedback. I want to know if you can notice the difference in quality compared to my past videos. If you do, I'll continue doing them at 720p, 60 frames per second instead of 30. Now, when you record at twice the frame rate, the file size is twice as large. So, these video files are going to be a lot larger for me to process, and it's going to take more time to process. So, if you see that the quality is better, let me know. And that way I will make the additional effort necessary to give you the better quality. I shared this at the beginning of this video because I want to, share with you folks out there that are wondering, how to properly record videos the best quality and what the difference is with all the different qualities. Many people out there don't know what 720p is, 1080p is, or even now the new standard, which is 4K. I wanted to share that so you folks know what your options are, and you can, record some decent looking videos. Many people out there that put out videos record in such shitty quality. And the reason why is because the file sizes are smaller and it's quicker to upload them. Okay, but if you have the capacity, if you have a fast laptop or desktop with an i7 processor, if you have a fast internet connection and you have the capabilities of doing better quality videos, I recommend that because people will appreciate it more. Okay, good quality video and good quality sound, in my opinion, is very important. Okay, so that's a little lesson there. So let me know what you think about the 720p, 60 frames per second on YouTube. If you go to your quality settings on your phone or on your laptop or desktop, you should be able to see 720p 60. Okay. If you're on a smartphone, it may default you to 480 because on smaller smartphones, you don't need as much resolution to see a clear picture. And a lot of smartphones default to 480p because they want you to save cell bandwidth. Okay, for those of you that are not on an unlimited plan. But anyway, enough of that. I think you folks get the hint there. Let me know what you think about the 720p 60 frames per second. All right, so let's get to the topic today of this episode of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Daily Walk Edition, which is episode number 51. And the topic is motivation versus obsession. A topic requested by Manny Rivera, who is a good friend of mine I met from YouTube. He runs the Aku Ryu channel. I was going to do this topic yesterday, but the video I did yesterday in regards to my new upcoming show with Charles F. Gray, I kind of talked about it for about 50 minutes. And I was going to briefly mention, talk about the topic that Manny requested yesterday, but I forgot it because I had a lot of distractions at the park and, I just forgot it. So I said, fuck it. Yesterday's video was long enough. I'm just going to end up doing it in today's video. So motivation versus obsession. And then after that, I'm going to be discussing, online etiquette, proper online etiquette, how to handle yourself properly online. What is the best online etiquette to use online? In addition, included within that topic, I'm going to be discussing, how some of my past trolls have now become good friends. So we're going to start off by talking about motivation versus obsession. And then we're going to go into, proper online etiquette and how to properly handle yourself online, etiquette best practices, which is what the actual, title is. And then I'm going to be discussing, how some of my past trolls have now become good friends. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, for you, good buddy, Manny Rivera, a.k.a. the Aku Ryu, A-K-O-R-Y-U channel on YouTube, let's talk about motivation versus obsession. What is the difference? Okay? What is the absolute difference? Well, if you're looking to accomplish something in life, if you're looking to accomplish anything in life, okay, you have to have a strong desire to want to accomplish it, okay? You have to be motivated to be able to accomplish it, okay? But just because you're somewhat motivated to accomplish something doesn't mean you're going to be motivated enough to accomplish it, okay? And that's where I think having some obsession in something you want to accomplish is okay to a certain extent. Let me explain that. What I do here on YouTube, I really enjoy doing it. What I do here on YouTube, Facebook, and my website, creating these videos, running my coaching business. I love what I do. I'm highly motivated every day to do this, in addition to my other businesses that I run. Okay? I have an obsession with it. And it's not bad to have an obsession in doing this. This is not a bad obsession. It's a good obsession. I believe that there's a difference between being obsessed in a good way and being obsessed in a bad way. In order to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish, which is going to take a lot of effort, like this takes a lot of effort for me to do every single day, you pretty much have to be obsessed with it to the point of where if you don't do it, it's going to bother you that you didn't do it. It's going to bother you that you didn't create that video. Like if I miss a day or two of not making videos, I feel it. I start to miss it because I really enjoy doing it. I thoroughly enjoy doing it. Okay? So in that situation, let me just move past here. Got some people coming. I wanted to move out of their way. Okay. Like I said, in that situation, being obsessed is okay. It's not a bad obsession, okay? The obsession that I have in doing this is what motivates me each and every day to continue to want to do it. I really love doing it solely on the fact of just doing it alone. Yes, do I want to make money doing this? Yes, okay? Am I creating systems to create money doing this? Yes. But the best way to make money when starting a new business like this is to do it solely on the fact that you enjoy doing it, and the money will come later if it's meant to be. Okay? And if you keep, up with it and you keep doing what you're doing, eventually the money will come. Okay? But regardless whether the money comes or not, if you enjoy doing it just for the fact of doing it, you can even consider it a hobby. Okay? Now, I don't consider this business a hobby, okay? But let's say it doesn't, get to the level I want it to get to, which I know it will. Just using this for example purposes. I still enjoy doing it, and I will still continue doing it because I just love doing it. I'm obsessed with it, okay? This is not a bad obsession, okay? Now, let me give you a couple examples of where obsession is bad. Okay? So we compare motivation to obsession here for my buddy Manny Rivera. If you start to date a woman, okay, and she likes you, you like her, you're attracted to her, she's attracted to you, you get along, things are going really, really well, okay? You're going to have motivation to continue doing things with her, for her, and on the flip side, she's going to have motivation doing things with you and for you, okay? But what happens in some cases I'm going to speak from the male perspective now because I think men become more obsessed with women than women become obsessed with men. There are some women that have become obsessed with me in the past. That's a story will be shared at a different time. But let's say as a man, you start to really like this woman so much to the point of where you're obsessed by her and you can't live your life without her. And she's basically, your emotional crutch, or she makes you feel good emotionally about yourself. She fills a void that without her you feel you'd be missing. As a man, that's not a healthy way to look at it. At that point, you become dependent on her, and then you become obsessed with her because she's making you feel good about a missing void that was missing in your life before you met her. That is definitely not a good way to continue moving forward in the relationship, because at some point, okay, based on your behavior, and women can pick up on these subtle behaviors, she's going to figure out that you're obsessed with her and you're dependent on her for your happiness, and she's going to leave you and break your heart. It's just going to create a bunch of issues. So, in that situation, I just wanted to mention briefly, obsession is not a good thing. Having the motivation and desire to be with her because she's a good person, she's fun to hang out with, okay? She respects you, you respect her. That's totally healthy and normal, okay? Speaking again from the male perspective, you're not going to want to continue seeing someone that you don't feel motivated to continue seeing, okay? And what's going to keep you motivated to see her is not only the way that you behave around her as a cool, calm, and collective gentleman that has his shit together, hopefully. It's going to be the way she behaves towards you and responds towards you. And if she's not responding to you, in a good, real, genuine way, if you're giving her the same thing, then it may be time to not see her anymore. And that's as far as I'm going to go on that there. Okay? Now, I wasn't going to mention this because I'm really trying to not mention this group of people online that's obsessed with me. There are a lot of people that since I started my YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel, almost a couple months ago, because I shut down my former channel about 4.5 months ago or so. There are a lot of people that have come back and they started creating videos on me and they follow me everywhere. I mean, there's even a new channel out there now called Coach Eli's Quote Mime. And, I don't know who that is. I have an idea who that is. I'll let you know for the time being. I'm going to let you do your thing because, yeah, it is kind of funny. I sometimes will check out those videos and it is kind of funny. But, at some point, who knows? If it starts to affect my business and it starts to take views and money away from my business, at some point I may ask you to take those videos down. And if you don't, I'll have to report them to YouTube. Plus, you're using my picture and you don't have the rights to use my picture. Okay? But I'll let you get away with it for right now. Right now, I'm going to let it be. I'm just sharing this right now for example purposes to share that, there are a bunch of people out there that are obsessed by me for some reason, maybe because of, my experiences in my former on my former YouTube channel, and maybe I'm just more entertaining and more interesting than anyone else out there in the communities that they participate in. Okay. Now, if these guys were normal, average, everyday guys, and they occasionally would do a video on me or occasionally talk about me, I would say, hey, you know what? They're motivated to do these videos because they see me as an interesting person and I'm different than anyone they've ever encountered. But because they do it so often, like almost on a daily basis, and they sit there by their phone or their computer waiting for the notification of my new video to be posted, they're obsessed. And that's where things, get a little weird and get a little crazy. It's like these guys are totally obsessed by me, an average everyday man that lives in the San Francisco Bay Area, going my own way. And I'll say it once again. You can put that little ding up top like you do Coach Eli's Quote Mime. Even though I am not considered mgtow technically because I'm not a monk, okay? Ding, not mgtow. Ding, not mgtow, right? Okay? I'm a man that's going the way I want to go. Like I am walking on the sidewalk here at the park. Okay? I'm a man that's going the way I choose to go. So I am going my own way, the way I feel like going. What is inaccurate about that statement? You're going to keep doing this video saying, ding is mgtow, ding is not mgtow. It's pretty funny because apparently you have so much fucking time on your hands and you're so obsessed by me that you get your rocks off doing this. Okay. It's all good. Like I said, continue doing what you're doing for now. I have no problem with it. If it starts to affect my business, I may reach out to you privately and ask you to take that shit down. And if you don't, then, you're going to be dealing with copyright issues and privacy issues. You're using my picture. For right now, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to do anything. What you're doing, you're putting, highlights and clips of my videos out there, the cringy moments like you guys mentioned, okay? It's all good. But just know I'm keeping an eye on my stuff, and I'm here to protect my content because, I'm in progress of creating something bigger and better for people out there that really want to consume my content and will truly support my content, even at some point monetarily. Yes, I'm out here to make money, but I do give most of my information for free. Okay? And if it starts to affect my business, at that point, we'll handle it accordingly. Okay? So, and then there are some other guys out there that do a bunch of response videos to me every time I put a video out there like this. That's obsession, Manny. These guys are really obsessed. Now, like I said, if occasionally they did one, they would be motivated to do it because I seem to be an interesting person to them. So they've gone beyond the level of motivation in doing these videos and have turned it into an obsession, which in this case, being obsessed is not good. So I mentioned, I believe 3 different examples of motivation versus obsession, where I feel being obsessed about something is okay and where I feel it isn't. All in all, if you're too obsessed with something, it's really not good. But if you go back and start this video from the beginning, if you missed any parts of it, if you just so happen to scrub across to this part, because some people like to flip through videos, just go back to that, to the beginning of this video, and you'll see an example, or you'll hear an example of where I mentioned obsession is okay in a certain instance. All right? All right. We have gone 23 minutes. All right. I'm looking at the stability of the picture since I'm recording at 720p 60 frames per second, and it seems to be flowing nice. It is overcast. Like, look. It is overcast. It is definitely supposed to rain today here in the San Francisco Bay Area. But I think the rain is not going to come in until later this afternoon. Again, I hope it doesn't start dumping on me right now. But let's get to the next part of the topic here. Okay, and let's talk about, online etiquette, some online etiquette best practices. And then I'm also going to mention, how some of my trolls from the past, especially my past YouTube channel, are now, good friends. We've become good friends. It's really interesting what has happened. And I'm going to share this because, folks, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to come in and out of your life. Sometimes someone who's your worst enemy initially ends up becoming your best friend. In many cases, in my life, over the course of my life, most people that have approached me to want to hang out with me or be friends with me, I didn't have an interest. I kind of blew them off. I kind of felt like they were jerks or they wanted something from me or wanted to take advantage of me. But the funny thing is, years later, I would run into this person or these people, and then we start hanging out and we became good friends. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes, for example, like you have these trolls that were madly trolling me. I'll mention more about that in a little bit on my channel last year, many trolls. And now I'd have to say a lot of them have, uh, either reconnected with me or approached me and want to reconnect with me now that I've come back on my new channel. And they've approached me in a civil way. And they're like, oh, we miss you. We miss you. You were, our favorite guy to troll. Wow, I'm fucking so honored by that. That's a fucking honor. I'll take it as an honor. I'll take it as a compliment, which is what I'm trying to say. It's an honor, and I'll take it as a compliment. But how should you handle yourself online? I'm going to use YouTube as an example, or even any social media. I feel you should honestly represent yourself in the most honest and ethical ways possible. Okay? In order to do that, you have to put your real self out there. That includes your real name, your real picture, and you have to just be real and genuine with people. That's my best advice. The problem with that is once you become, a known public figure, you're going to have your detractors. You're going to have people that either don't like your message or they're so unhappy with themselves and they see you as a happy person. So they try to kick you down and make themselves feel better. And once these people, get in their heads that they don't like you, if you start to call them out or antagonize them in many cases, what they'll do is they'll take your real name and they'll research you online. And there are many tools nowadays where you can research people online and pretty much find out any information. And they'll make your life miserable because they have nothing better to do. They get off on that shit. It was kind of funny. I've heard about this thing called swatting, where people that do live streams, some of the viewers, some of the trolls, will find out the information about the live streamer, and they'll call the cops saying that, this guy is beating his wife at this location. You got to check it out. Next thing you know, the cops come in, and then they swat this guy while he's live on the air. They call that swatting. Well, it was weird. Like a few days ago, somebody called the cops on a Facebook employee, and actually Facebook is actually located in Menlo Park, which is one city away from where I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I live about maybe like less than 15 minutes away from Facebook. Somebody called the cops on a Facebook employee and told the cops that he was abusing and beating up his wife. They need to get over there and take care of it. And they went over there and they swatted his house. He wasn't doing any of that. He's a good guy. And my whole thing is that, why do people do this? That is not a good way to behave online. Because if you feel it's okay to do that to somebody for your entertainment, then you're sick in the fucking head. You've got some serious emotional issues that you need to work through. No decent, normal man or woman or human being would ever do something like that to anyone. The only reason why people do that is because they're so miserable within themselves that they need to do something like that to basically get their mind off of their miserable fucking lives. And it's sad. And that's not a way you want to behave online. Because I'll tell you what, the more and more these people do it, they think that they're hiding behind the anonymity of the internet and a fake, sock puppet account. The internet is all wired. And at some point, you're going to slip and someone's going to get your IP address or something. They're going to figure out where you're at, and the cops are going to come and arrest you. Do you feel it's worth it? Even if you never get caught, morally, do you think that's right? Do you have any morals, values, and ethics? Seriously. So you need to be yourself. And like I said, one of the best ways to be yourself is to come out here and do what I do. come out here on the internet, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, regardless of what platform you use, put out your real name, put out your real face, build a following of whatever you're trying to accomplish, and have morals, values, and ethics, and be honest with your people. Okay? You're going to get detractors initially when you do that. But if you filter out the detractors and the trolls that are just there for entertainment purposes, you're going to eventually build a following that truly values your message and values who you are. Okay? Now, a lot of people are saying, I don't feel safe putting my real name and picture out there. Well, if you're going to sell any type of product or service, I'm not going to buy anything from anyone that I don't know is real and genuine. Okay? So you have to find a good balance of, hey, you know what? I'm going to go on YouTube, use my real name, show my face, knowing that there are going to be people out there that are going to have my information, and they're probably going to try to fuck around with me a bit, but I'm going to just find a way to best protect myself. Okay? I wouldn't sit there and, completely, shut yourself off from sharing your real self because you're going to have a few people that are going to try to troll you and shit. You got to be you. You got to be the real you. Okay? You just have to learn to have thick skin and learn to brush things off and deal with whatever comes when it actually comes. Last year, I was getting a lot of crank calls. A lot of people sent pizzas, not directly to my place. They thought it was my place, but they sent pizzas, out to me or out to another place in regards to an address they found online that they thought was mine. They did a bunch of crazy shit. Okay? And, quite frankly, it was very frustrating. And quite frankly, it was very disturbing to the people that had to actually deal with this. But again, just because this is happening and may happen a time or two, doesn't mean you shouldn't put the real you out there, because I am the type of person that buys into someone that I can see, that I can hear, and I know is a real person. I want to be able to look you up online and see if you're real, if I want to use your services. Okay? So you should be you. Some other things, best practices online that I've learned over, the past year and a half or so, based on my experiences in regards to my former YouTube channel, is that you never want to bring your significant other on your YouTube channel, because especially if you're a man, never bring your woman out there, because men are very vicious when it comes to trolling, especially emotionally fucked up, guys that have nothing better to do. Okay? And they're going to attack you. And even if you're able to handle the attacks, such as I'm able to handle them, when you ignore them, what they're going to do is they're going to get to your other half to get to you. Knowing that women are more emotional and women have very little to no tolerance for this shit, they're going to attack your other half, your woman, to get to you. And that's what happened to me. And that's why I learned to never, ever bring my significant other that I may have in the future, on any of my social media presence. Okay? I've even gotten to the point of where, I don't even use the relationship status on Facebook anymore. Okay? And I don't even tag, people that I hang out with anymore. I don't want people to, easily target somebody that I may date in the future. If I leave that hole open, there are people out there that'll take advantage of it. And I don't have a problem with them attacking me. Okay? But the problem is when they attack your other half, that's not even the problem there. The problem is they know that she's not going to be able to handle it, and they know that it's going to affect your relationship with her. And some of these guys are sick in the head because they don't have a happy life and they can't make it work with a woman, or they have women issues. They don't want to see you happy with a woman. So a lot of these guys will try to, kill your relationship if you bring your other half online and they find out who she is, and then they attack you, and because of the fact they can't get through to you, they attack her. And then they do get to you because then your other half's going to start getting mad at you for bringing her out here in the first place. So the moral of the story is, especially if you're a man, do not bring your woman on YouTube or within your social media presence. If you do, keep it private. Use your privacy settings. Do not put it publicly out there. The moment people find out about that, it's going to be their ammo against you when they can't get to you. Like for me, I have thick skin. I can handle this shit. These guys know I can handle this shit. But they knew that my former woman was not going to be able to handle it. So they attacked her to get to me. And quite frankly, they won because I had no experience. Now I have experience. Now I'm back here, and I'm like, I'm a single man now. I've been hanging out with somebody, and we're going to see where it goes. But I'm not going to fucking bring her out here. I'm not going to mention her name, and I'll very rarely refer to her, in regards to certain situations that make sense for my videos. I learned that. I've always been an open-minded guy, but there are some things that you have to be a little more cautious on, and this is one of them. So that's, one of the key things that I've learned in regards to, online etiquette best practices. Don't get your other half involved. Now, if you're a woman running a YouTube channel and you want to bring your guy out there, okay, that may be a little different because men can handle this shit much better than women. No disrespect to women. Women are just, they respond to things more emotionally. Guys can just blow this shit off. Guys can just get a good laugh out of it and say, fuck you, dude, whatever, and blow it off. But women will get highly offended by it because that's the way the good Lord made women to respond to these things. So, now, like I said, now that I understand what happened to me on my previous channel, I can come out here and say, hey, just don't do it. Don't fucking do it. I learned from it. I'm here sharing this story with you folks so you can learn from it. Maybe you're watching these videos and you've thought about starting your own channel or building an online business, and you're a guy and you have a lady and you're wondering if you should, partner up with her and, get her involved. If you even decide to do that, you got to sit her down and say, hey, look, this is what you're up against. This is what's probably going to happen. I don't want it to affect our relationship. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. They're going to attack me, and when they're not able to get to me, they're going to attack you to get to me. As long as you understand that and you can handle it, let's go for it. But don't tell me that you can handle it, and then when it gets tough, you start to get upset at me because I forewarned you about it. See, I didn't know about that when I brought my ex, when she was my actual girlfriend, on my former channel. I didn't know about that. Had I known about that, I would have never done it. But I learned from it, and I'm here to share that as one of the most important, best practices in regards to online etiquette, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever you use. Okay? So, what else? Again, be yourself. Don't be shady. Don't be a shill. Don't go out there pretending to like a community just to leverage that community and try to sell them something, because people will pick up on that. You want to be genuine. You want to get involved with communities that you resonate with, and that way they're also going to resonate with you. People can tell when you're not a real part of their community, or when you're trying to fake it just to try to get something out of them, such as trying to sell them whatever it is. Like I mentioned in the past, within the mgtow community, the men going their own way community, there were a bunch of shills in the past that tried to sell people, red pill cryptocurrency coins. They tried to sell them sex dolls. There was even one guy that was trying to sell Cialis and Viagra to men that are supposed to be leaving the plantation. I kind of mentioned this yesterday or the day before, I believe. But yeah, this guy was trying to sell Cialis and Viagra to a group of mgtow manosphere men, while at the same time preaching that it's dangerous to date women. That's a hypocritical thing right there. Why the fuck are you going to try to sell people pills that help them sustain longer erections when at the same time you're telling them, to not, be with women? Maybe you're saying, pump and dump this and that, but even pumping and dumping is not considered mgtow. It's not. So these guys were a bunch of shills. They came out here on YouTube. They infiltrated the manosphere to try to make a buck. And for a while, they were successful until they got shut down. Like I mentioned, many of them had their channels shut down for spam and deceptive practices and hate speech and vulgar language. And quite frankly, they deserved what they got. I'm not afraid to come out here and say that. Don't put yourself in that position. Think ahead before you get involved with any community. Think about, how much do you actually resonate with that community's message, and how much do you feel they would resonate with your message? A lot of people are saying, Coach Eli, why are you so involved in the manosphere mgtow community? Because I'm a man, and I am a man, even though I'm not mgtow. Ding, like this quote, Eli's quote mine. Ding, I'm not a man going my own way. Ding. Sorry, I am a man going my own way. I'm confusing you, and I'm confusing me at the same time. I'm a man going my own way, but I'm not mgtow according to what is a true mgtow, such as a mgtow monk. But I'm choosing to go the path I want to go. Maybe I should stop saying I'm a man going my own way and word it differently. Okay, I am choosing to go down the path that I want to go on. It's my choice to go down the path I want to go on. It's your choice to go down the path you want to go on. You see that path right there? It's a sidewalk. You can call it a path, right? So if I change my verbiage and say, you know what? Every man chooses their own path on which they want to walk and which way they want to go. Wouldn't that be different than saying, or isn't that the same thing as saying I'm a man going my own way? But just because I'm saying I'm a man going my own way and, it triggers the mgtow fucks, right? You get scrutinized for it. It's funny. I can just say, hey, this is my path that I'm going on. I'm going down my own path, whether you like it or not, and you choose to go down the path you want to go, right? Nothing wrong with that. But once you start saying I'm a man going my own way, people are thinking that, oh, he's claiming to be mgtow. No, I'm not. Okay? Yeah, it's an interesting world. YouTube and social media. It's not just YouTube, but YouTube is one of the biggest places people congregate because you can create videos there and you can comment there and you can also chat on live streams within the live stream chat. YouTube makes it very easy to communicate with people. But it doesn't only happen on YouTube, it happens on every social media platform. Okay? You get a bunch of people out there that are just not happy within themselves, and they see you, a happy-go-lucky person that's trying to make something out of yourself, and they try to kick you down because they wish they were as capable as you are of doing what you're doing or trying to accomplish. Okay? I'll say this, like I said at the beginning of this video, there are many people that have made, channels in regards to my work. Okay, there are a lot of trolling channels created on me. Why would anybody waste the time to create, that amount of channels out there if I'm not relevant enough to you folks? Obviously I have some relevance to you guys for you to even want to do this. If I wasn't important enough or interesting enough to you guys, you wouldn't do it, but I am interesting. And that's another thing I want to mention to you folks out there. Okay, as I reach the 45-minute mark of this video, I'm going to be wrapping it up soon. Okay, you need to be interesting within your message. Now, if you're naturally interesting like me, and I say that humbly speaking because there's no one out there like me, I know that. Okay, the more interesting of a person you are, okay, and if you go out there and you present yourself in an honest way, but people can see your passion and they can feel what you're saying, you're going to get a lot more traction. There's nothing more of a turnoff to me than boring content from people that speak in a melancholy voice. And there are many people that even troll me that do their videos with a melancholy voice. Well, today we're going to be talking about the so-called life coach from the San Francisco Bay Area. And wow, the amount of cringe in his latest few videos. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm just going to start playing the video. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for putting up with my boring ass monotone voice. I make Ben Stein's voice sound godly. Yeah, Ben Stein's voice used to irritate me, but I actually think it's pretty cool now. Now, most of you out there know whose voice I just mocked, but it's an example purpose once again because, look, when I view a video, I want to feel someone's passion. I want to feel someone's heat. I want to feel someone's desire. I want to feel their heart and soul. I want to feel how real they are. And whether you like my message or not, I'm real. You can feel my fire. I come out here. You can feel my rage, and it's good rage. It's not bad rage. It's good rage. Okay? That's what makes me interesting as an example. I'm just using an example, humbly speaking. I don't want to say I'm all that, but it's an example. That's what makes me interesting, and that's what makes me interested in viewing other people's content is if I can feel your passion, if I hear your voice fluctuate between the highs and the lows, I can feel you getting amped up. I can feel you coming back down. That's interesting to me. But if you're going to sit there and just say, hello, welcome to my show where we're going to be talking about the so-called life coach from the San Francisco Bay Area. Well, at least I show my face. This guy that does that won't even show his face. So you can't even see his facial expressions, right? I want to see your facial expressions. I want to hear your voice fluctuation. I want to see your eyes. Okay? I want to see your smile. Your grin. I want to feel what you're feeling so I can believe in you. And that's what interests me in a creator. Even people that are acting, even people that are, creating entertainment videos. It's the same concept. The only difference is you're pretending instead of being the real you. Maybe some people being their real selves is boring and dull. Maybe that's just who you are. Maybe you just weren't cut out to be a content creator. Being a content creator, being an actor, or doing certain jobs weren't made for everyone. Not everyone can do what I do. But if you're going to attempt to do it, give it your all by being yourself. Don't hold back. Allow us to feel who you are. Allow us to feel what you've been through. Allow us to understand, where you came from. That's what I want to know. That's what I'm interested in when I follow people. Okay? Now, we're at 50 minutes and I'm seeing some slight raindrops. I'm hoping I can finish this before it starts to rain. As far as these former online trolls now being, good friends. Like I've mentioned in the past, a little over a month ago, I connected with the Mad Shangy Discord. Mad Shangy is a prominent content creator on YouTube. By the way, Mad Shangy has reappeared. He reappeared a couple days ago. His computer took a shit. He's been in progress of getting that fixed. He's alive and well, and he's having a great new year. But I joined his Discord group a little over a month ago. And I used to be trolled by Shangy and some other people that are part of his group, NYC Korean mgtow, some of the other ladies that are part of his group as well, Taz and Sishu and the rest of them. But now, you know what? When I came back, after shutting down my former channel, when I came back with my new channel, and these guys found out about me, we reconnected. And a lot of them were in the same position that I was in. They were getting trolled, and they learned how to handle the trolls, just like I have. And now we've become good friends. Okay? So that's one example there. Another example, there were a bunch of 15-year-old trolls that raided my live streams last year. I did a live stream. I used to do a live show with my ex-girlfriend back then called Genuine Relationships in the 21st Century. And on one of those streams, we got hammered by 200 trolls, and they were coming in saying, Buddha raid, right? And it was only myself and my girlfriend at the time that had moderator access to moderate my channel. So we had to shut down the stream. These guys hammered me, and they kept hammering me for many streams after that until I figured out how to take care of that and get more moderators. But the bottom line is that now it's funny. These guys reached out to me yesterday and made a comment on my channel saying that they miss me, and I asked them, why do you miss me? And I said, because. They said, because you were one of our favorite trolls and we like your content, and you're actually a very interesting guy. Well, to you 15-year-old trolls out there, you guys out there, listen, I was a fucking little shit when I was younger too. Okay? Now, I don't know if I'd be doing the crazy shit you guys have been doing, if we had the technology back when I was 15, because I'm 45 now. I'm like 30 years older than you guys. But don't get me wrong, I was a little shit too, so I understand how you guys work. And you know what? You guys are 15-year-old guys. You're having fun. You're trying to navigate through this crazy modern world. And let me tell you, it's different now. You Generation Y, post-millennial I generation guys. Let me tell you something. The women in your era are different. They're being indoctrinated into this, feminized culture. So you guys are going to have it much more difficult to accomplish things that were much easier for some of us, Gen X people like myself to accomplish. Don't get me wrong. I've had my struggles as well, but, I get it. So you guys, are doing your own thing. You guys are going your own way. You 15-year-old trolls are going your own way. Now, do I condone your behavior online? Going out there and Buddha raiding and mass raiding these channels? I really don't. But you know what? To each its own. Do what you got to do. Just know that I'm not the one that's going to be flagging you or anything like that. I don't care what you guys do. But there's always a price to pay. There's always a price to pay when you do stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's all going to catch up to you. But you know what? I still have respect for you guys because you guys approached me after all this time. And I meant that much to you to the point of where you seeked me out and found me. It's been funny since I've been back on YouTube. All these people that were trolling me and harassing me and kicking me down and all that shit, they're all coming back like, oh yeah, you're back. They were looking for me. I left for like what 3 months. I came back and now they're all finding me and now they want to reconnect with me. Now this group of 15-year-olds, they want to interview me and I may do an interview with you guys. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it. But I do, appreciate the fact that obviously I meant so much to you guys that you remembered me enough to the point of where you found my new channel and you commented. And then you said you missed me. That's awesome. So the moral of the story is this. Look, I kind of mentioned this earlier. Sometimes initially you're not going to get along with a certain group of people or with a certain person. But it doesn't mean a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, if you run into that same person or people again, that it's not going to work out. It's the same thing for you guys and gals out there that have broken up with somebody that you thought was going to be your soulmate. Okay? And maybe you've been in no contact for 3, 6 months, a year or 2 years, and you're thinking that, wow, well, it's been 2 years, never going to happen. And maybe I'll share this story in another video. I kind of briefly touched up on it the other day. I once reunited with an ex that broke up with me 7 years after she broke up with me, and she wanted to be with me. And this time she wanted to be with me for eternity. Let me tell you, folks, funny shit happens. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Just when you think at the moment you think that, okay, that person's never going to talk with me again, let's close a chapter on that, that's when they pop back in, when you least fucking expect it. Okay? So I'll wrap up by saying this. It's really nice to reconnect with these people, good, bad, or indifferent, the trolls that have sought me out on my new channel. Obviously, you know what? I must mean something to you. And you know what? It means something to me that you guys even care enough to take the time to seek me out and to remember me. You remember me. Out of all these crazy people that are out here, you remember me. And as weird as that may sound, it's actually pretty cool because it's saying that, hey, I'm someone that stands out enough to the point of where I am memorable. And that's what you should do as well if you want people to remember you, folks. When you're memorable, people are more prone to keep in touch with you. And that's what's going to help you, accomplish and grow anything you want to grow, whether it's your online presence, etc. Make yourself memorable by being you and being unique, and you're going to stand out. And that's where I'm going to wrap this video today at 58 minutes in 720p HD, 60 frames per second. Let me know what you thought about the video quality. With that being said, have a great day, folks. I'm probably going to go hiking over this weekend, so you may not get another video from me until Monday. You might get one from me on Sunday, but if not, Monday. More than likely, there will be no video tomorrow because I'm more than likely going to be hiking with this lady, activity partner, whatever I've been calling her. A lot of you guys are like, oh, Eli's changing up the terminology on what he's calling this chick he's hanging out with. Well, I'll leave that up to you guys to figure out what you think is really going on there. All right? Have a great one, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.